The story begins with a young boy named Vassili, who is being trained by his grandfather to use a sniper rifle. They are in a cold region of Russia, where Vassili's grandfather ties their horse to a place, waiting for wolves to come and attack it, so Vassili can shoot them. But when the moment arrives, Vassili gets scared, misses his shot, and the horse is killed. The story then jumps to 1942, when World War II is about to start. Vassili is now grown up and has joined the Russian army, heading to confront the German forces. The Russian army is traveling by train to the German city, while the German army, led by Hitler, has conquered much of Europe, including all of its oil fields. Their next mission is to invade Russia, and the first target is the city of Stalingrad. The Russian soldiers also arrive there, and the Russian commanders warn them that anyone who tries to desert or run away will be killed by their fellow soldiers. The only way to survive is to drive the Germans out. Russian soldiers are then placed on boats and sent across a river, where German soldiers are waiting. The Russian soldiers spot the bodies of their fallen comrades floating in the river, and as they approach the shore, German planes bomb them mercilessly. Many Russian soldiers die, and their boats are sunk, but Vassili makes it to the shore. Some other boats also make it, but with fewer weapons than needed. The commanders order the soldiers to share their weapons, so 2 soldiers will use 1 weapon. Vassili only receives bullets, and his friend gets a gun. In order to get a weapon, Vassili has to kill a German soldier and take their gun. As the Russian soldiers charge, the Germans counterattack with bombs, causing massive casualties. During the battle, Vassili's friend dies, and Vassili tries to take his gun, but another soldier pushes him aside and takes it. The German forces are overpowering, and the Russians are forced to retreat. As they try to escape, their commanders shoot at them for trying to flee the battle. After the battle ends, the Germans capture Stalingrad, and the city is filled with the bodies of fallen Russian soldiers, with vultures and crows feeding on them. At that moment, a car arrives, and German soldiers attack it. The car flips over, and a Russian man named Denny Lov, who works as a messenger delivering newspapers to the Russian army, emerges from the wreckage. Before the German soldiers can catch him, Denny hides among the bodies of the Russian soldiers, hoping they will think he is dead. The Germans then spray bullets over the bodies to make sure no one survives. Miraculously, Denny Lov is unharmed, but the stench of the bodies makes him sick. Denny continues moving forward and spots a German officer taking a bath. He picks up a gun from one of the dead soldiers and prepares to kill the officer. But just as he is about to shoot, a soldier appears from among the bodies, and it is none other than Vassili. Vassili stops Denny from shooting the officer, saying that if he fires, the German soldiers will hear the shot and return. Vassili tells Denny to wait for a missile to land, so the explosion will cover the sound of the gunfire. Denny is nervous, afraid the Germans might hear the shot, so he gives the gun to Vassili, asking him to kill the officer instead. As they wait for the missile strike, a car with more soldiers arrives to protect the officer. Vassili waits for the right moment, and as soon as the missile explodes, he shoots and kills the officer. No one hears the shot. He then kills another German soldier during the next explosion, but one soldier notices Vassili and throws a bomb at him. Vassili manages to shoot him first. There is only one German soldier left, and he tries to run and warn the others. Vassili shoots him down too. Denny Lov is impressed by Vassili's sharpshooting and bravery. The two head to the Russian headquarters, where Denny writes an article about Vassili in the newspaper, praising his courage and how he killed 4 German soldiers and 1 German commander. Vassili is happy to see his story in print. Soon, a Russian leader, Khrushchev, arrives at the headquarters, angry with the Russian commander for sending soldiers to their deaths. He warns the commander that if Stalin finds out what happened, he will be executed. As Khrushchev leaves the office, the sound of gunfire is heard, and the soldiers realize the commander has been killed. Khrushchev then asks the officers how they can motivate the soldiers to fight the Germans and reclaim Stalingrad. Denny suggests promoting soldiers who have fought bravely, like those who stood up to the Germans, to inspire the others. Khrushchev agrees with the idea and decides to implement it. Later, Denny rushes to find Vassili and tells him that both of them have been promoted. The whole country praises Vassili for his bravery. After becoming a sniper, Vassili kills 33 German soldiers and forces 13 German commanders to resign. One day, Vassili is about to take a shot at a German commander when a child named Sasha suddenly appears in front of him, distracting him and causing him to miss the shot. Sasha, a Russian child who admires Vassili's bravery, takes him to his home, where his mother treats Vassili to a warm meal. Danilov and Tanya, a beautiful girl who secretly helps save civilians from the Germans, join them. Tanya is Sasha's neighbor and speaks fluent German. When Danilov first saw Tanya, he was immediately attracted to her, but Tanya liked Vassili because of his bravery. After this, we are introduced to a German commander who sent an invitation to the world's best sniper, named Quinn. When Quinn arrived, he met with the commander of the German military headquarters, who informed him that a Russian sniper had killed many of their soldiers. The commander asked Quinn to eliminate this Russian sniper as soon as possible. Quinn immediately set to work, and soon, news spread that a German sniper had killed 5 Russian soldiers with perfect accuracy. Meanwhile, Vassili was sleeping, but his friend woke him up, telling him there was trouble at the storage area. Vassili and 2 others went outside to handle the situation. While checking, Vassili spotted someone behind a window and shot at them. He and his companion went to inspect, but found out it wasn't a person, but a mannequin. At the same time, a German sniper shot and killed their friend who had stayed downstairs. Vassili noticed a cigarette on the ground and realized that someone else was nearby. Just then, German planes began bombing Stalingrad. Seeing this, Vassili's companion got scared and tried to run, but the German sniper cleverly killed him as well. Vassili, however, stayed hidden in the building during the bombing. Meanwhile, Quinn was reading a newspaper, while Sasha was cleaning his shoes. Quinn handed him the paper and asked him to translate it into German. Sasha told him that the article talked about Vassili's marksmanship and bravery. In a casual conversation, Sasha mentioned that he was a huge fan of Vassili and had even met him. On the other side, Vassili arrived at the military headquarters, where Danilov was already present. There, he met a sniper named Konig, who had been taught by Quinn himself. Danilov informed Vassili that both his friends had been killed, and the sniper who attacked them kept changing positions, so Vassili couldn't identify him. Denny then realized that the sniper they were dealing with was none other than Quinn himself. He told Vassili that Quinn knew everything about him and had come with the intention to kill him. The next day, Vassili dreamed of the childhood incident when a wolf killed their horse. Suddenly, Konig woke him up, telling him that he had seen an undercover sniper. They both went out to check and discovered that the enemies had launched an attack. They quickly left the building, but the German soldiers fired arrows at them. Fortunately, they managed to escape. Afterward, Vassili cut the signal wires to prevent the Germans from calling for reinforcements. As they moved from one place to another, they spotted a German soldier attempting to fix the signal wire. However, this was not a German soldier, but one of their own comrades, whom Quinn had captured and forced to wear German clothes. Konig mistakenly shot his own comrade, thinking he was a German soldier. Vassili and Konig quickly moved to another location, but before they could, they decided to make a plan. They took off their helmets to trick Quinn into aiming at them, so Vassili could figure out his location. However, Quinn didn't fire, so they thought he wasn't around. As they jumped to another spot, Quinn shot Konig, and Vassili barely managed to escape and return to the headquarters. He told Danilov that he couldn't kill Quinn because he was a much better sniper. However, Denny encouraged him, saying he would get all the intelligence about Quinn and help him. Meanwhile, Quinn had managed to gather information about Vassili by bribing the little boy Sasha with candy. Afterward, Quinn quietly entered the building where Vassili was about to arrive and hid, waiting for him. Vassili, now aware that Quinn was likely to attack him from hiding, started moving through the ventilation pipes. Quinn, hearing sounds from the pipes, waited for whoever was inside to come out. As soon as Vassili's companion emerged, Quinn shot and killed him, while Vassili narrowly escaped and hid behind an engine. In the chaos, Vassili's gun slipped from his hand, and he ordered his wounded companion to go back to the headquarters. Vassili then tried to pull his gun back using a rope tied to a knife, but just as he did, Quinn shot and cut the rope. At that moment, German planes started bombing the area, causing glass to fall all around the building. One piece of glass revealed Vassili's reflection, and Quinn focused his attention on it. Meanwhile, the wounded soldier reached the headquarters and told Tanya about Vassili's condition. Danilov noticed how worried Tanya was about Vassili. Unable to contain herself, Tanya decided to help Vassili by following the ventilation pipes. As Tanya was about to emerge from the pipes, Vassili stopped her, realizing Quinn's plan. He told Tanya to reflect light using a mirror to give him a clear shot at Quinn. Tanya did so, and at that moment, Vassili took a perfect shot and hit Quinn's hand. They immediately returned to the headquarters, where Vassili was praised for taking the perfect shot and eliminating Quinn. After this, Vassili met Danilov and asked him not to write about him in the newspaper, as he wanted to remain anonymous like the other soldiers and fight. Danilov replied that he was not an ordinary soldier but a brilliant sniper, and when the other soldiers hear stories of his bravery, it fills them with spirit. Then, Danilov called Sasha, who had been spying for them. Sasha told Vassili that when he cleaned Quinn's shoes, he noticed yellow dust, which was a type of soil found only in chemical factories. Sasha was very happy to be spying for the Russian army, but Vassili was angry at Danilov for putting a little boy in danger. Later, Sasha took Vassili to the chemical factory where Quinn often went. Soon, Vassili hid among piles of corpses, waiting for Quinn. However, after a while, he fell asleep. During this time, Quinn passed right in front of him, but since Vassili was asleep, he didn't notice. Meanwhile, the German forces had attacked the city. A German soldier, who had been looting the wallets of dead soldiers, was caught. When Quinn saw Vassili among the corpses, he tried to shoot him, but a soldier came between them, blocking his shot. The German army soon apprehended the looter, and in his possession, they found Vassili's wallet, which meant Vassili was already dead. After this, Quinn had no reason to stay, so the commander ordered him to pack up and leave. On the other side, when the Russian commander received news of Vassili's death, he was in shock. But Danilov reassured him that Vassili was still alive. The commander said that if the false news of Vassili's death reached the army, their morale would be shattered, so he ordered Danilov to hide Vassili's picture in the newspaper. Later, Danilov told Tanya that Vassili would not return to the headquarters, but he didn't tell her that Vassili had spread the news of his own death. When Tanya later heard the news of Vassili's death on the German radio, she became very distressed. Meanwhile, Quinn went to have his shoes cleaned by Sasha, who was crying upon hearing the news of Vassili's death. Quinn reassured him, saying, "Don't cry, child. He's still alive." He then told Sasha to go home for the day and come back the next morning at train time. Shortly after, Sasha conveyed the train news to Danilov. The next morning, Vassili arrived at the train station, where he was shocked to see Tanya. He asked her how she knew he would be there, to which Tanya replied that she had learned it from Sasha. Tanya, emotionally, said that she had heard about his death on the German radio but knew he was alive. After this, they grew closer. Meanwhile, Sasha arrived at the station to meet Vassili, but Quinn was already waiting for him. Quinn had figured out that Sasha was a Russian spy. A short while later, Tanya, through her binoculars, saw something so horrifying that it gave her goosebumps. She saw Sasha's lifeless body hanging from a pipe. She realized that Quinn had killed him. Sasha's death deeply saddened Tanya, but Vassili promised her that he would take revenge on Quinn for Sasha's death. Meanwhile, German soldiers entered the city, and the Russian soldiers told Sasha's mother to board a boat and escape to the other side of the river. But she refused to leave until her son returned. Danilov lied to her, telling her that Sasha had betrayed Russia and joined the German army, but he didn't tell her that Sasha was dead. As everyone was fleeing, a missile hit near Tanya, injuring her badly. Sasha's mother took Tanya in a boat to the hospital for treatment. Before leaving, she left a note for her deceased son, saying, "I'm going across. When you get the chance, come over to the other side." Meanwhile, Danilov reached Vassili, who was waiting at the train station for Quinn. Danilov informed him that Tanya had died, and Vassili broke down in tears. Afterward, Danilov risked his life in an attempt to track down Quinn so that Vassili could kill him later. Quinn, thinking he had killed Vassili, began searching the area. However, he was surprised to see Vassili standing in front of him, aiming a gun at him. Quinn, ready to face death, saluted Vassili for his bravery. In the end, Vassili shot him, then placed Quinn's gun on Danilov's body in honor of his sacrifice. 2 months later, the Russian army defeated the Germans. Vassili was sent to the hospital, where he found Tanya alive, and he was overjoyed. Later, in honor of Vassili's bravery, the Russian army placed his gun in the Stalingrad Museum. Vassili and Tanya eventually got married and lived a happy life. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.